I'm Natalie. In today's video, we're going to be talking about two different models of technology integration in the classroom, the SAMR model and TIM.
The first of these models we're going to look at is the SAMR model. It helps identify 4 key levels for technology integration. In this picture showing it, it shows the different levels as kind of like the further you go along, the deeper you're getting into the use of technology and its application in your classroom. The first level on the SAMR model is the substitution level. It could be something as simple as, instead of reading an article that you've printed out and given a hard copy to your class, instead now you're just reading an article online. And at this point, there's no real change that's happened. You're just doing it with the use of a computer or an iPad now. The second level is augmentation. You're not really doing anything new, but it's maybe you're writing a paper online and you're able to use the functions of spell check or other features like that, where it's a tool to help you write a paper online. So there is a functional improvement, but there's no real change. There's no real change in these two first levels, just enhancement of what we had before, of the no technology stage. The third level is modification, and this is when we're getting into the more of the transformation stage, and you get to see greater just differences between the way that we would have been performing tasks without technology and with technology. So for modification, maybe if you were teaching a geography lesson and the original lesson without technology, students were cutting and pasting magazine clippings to talk about different locations. Instead, now what you would be doing in the modification level would be maybe creating a digital travel brochure that incorporates like videos that you're creating or you're finding and that you just wouldn't be able to do with simple magazine clippings. Last section for the SAMR model is redefinition, and this is the highest one that you're going to want to be working at, and this is when real change is coming to the way you're using technology. When you were wanting to read and understand Shakespeare, you would be able to ask and answer the question, what did the culture of the time have on the writings of Shakespeare's play, using a concept mapping tool online and constructing a mind map that demonstrates key elements through words and images, and then you're able to share it with other classmates and have them help you answer. A big key on the redefinition stage is the idea of collaboration. The second model we're going to be looking at is TIM, and TIM stands for Technology Integration Matrix. This model has a lot of similar ideas to what we were talking about with the SAMR model. It just has a different layout, and this model also incorporates the characteristics of the learning environment and kind of pairs those with the different ways to integrate technology. So you'll see on the top of the technology integration matrix, you have 5 different levels. You have entry, adoption, adaptation, infusion, and transformation. And so you go from the very basic entries to where you're just delivering content with technology, but nothing really changed, to all the way to transformation, where it's very similar to the redefinition, where you're doing different things, you have this collaboration aspect, and you're doing new things with technology that you couldn't do before. What makes TIM different is that you put the different levels of integration with the characteristics of the learning environment. So this matrix has identified 5 types of learning environments: active, collaborative, constructive, authentic, and goal-directed. And in these are all just different things you could be doing in your classroom, or types of environments you're trying to create for your classroom. And so with this matrix, then you're able to go on each of the 25 boxes that it creates, and you can click on each one, and then you can say, like, okay, what would a lesson in this area look like? So now we're going to take a look at how these two models stack up against each other. So I made this little graphic to help kind of outline the differences and similarities The two core similarities that I noticed, one, they can be applied to any content area. And I also noticed both of these models include different levels of technology integration. And I just think that's really important. And obviously the creators of these models agree. Looking at SAMR specifically, what is different about SAMR is you're only having 4 distinct levels. It's easy for me to remember what each of the letters stands for, what each of the different sections are, keep in my head, and these can easily be matched with plumes. And as you can see in this little picture here, you're seeing that, oh, okay, redefinition is gonna be at the higher end, and then the substitution is gonna be on the lower end of plumes. On TIM, you have a lot more options, and so you're seeing that the technology integrated with the characteristics of the classroom environment, and so you have 25 different options. And so what stood out with the 25 different options is I can specifically plan a lesson using TIM. So SAMR played the role of more of just a broad thinking about technology and the different levels, but TIM is specific. When I'm planning a lesson, I can reference TIM and be able to know specifically where my technology is going to land in my lessons.
So there you have it. Both of these models are super important for us as teachers to know and understand when it comes to applying and integrating technology into our classrooms. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.